Hello, sisters. I'm just taking a moment to get all the text set. Okay, excellent. Okay, and now I'm going to bring Ellie on. Okay, Ellie will be with us in a moment. Hi, Ellie. Hello. Excellent. Oh, I'm unable to hear you. Here, let me unmute you. There we go. Wonderful. Okay. Here we all are, and we're so happy to be here with all of you to delve into boundaries together. And I just want to invite us all to arrive into the space together. So if you want to bring yourself a mug of tea or a cup of water, and perhaps some pencils and or pens and a journal for some journaling later. And it's fine if you don't want to do that or don't feel to do that. And just to close all your other browsers and turn off your phone and just get as comfortable as you can be in this moment. Yeah. And so let's all just take a moment and close our eyes. And maybe bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. And let's all just breathe together. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth 3 times. Inhaling. And exhaling. Maybe there's a sigh that wants to come. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Just taking a moment to feel your hand on your belly and your hand on your heart. And taking a moment to greet yourself. And to make contact with your body. To make contact with your emotions. And just gently touching on whatever brought you here today to this circle and to this time together. And just gently greeting that. And just allowing a moment to root deeply down into yourself. Doing that in whatever way feels good to you. Perhaps it's traveling down, down, down through your pelvis, through your legs and your feet, growing roots into the earth like a tree. Traveling down through all the layers of rock and soil and fire and magma inside the earth. Feeling yourself root down and stretch out. Stretch out through the planet, anchoring yourself. If that feels good, and if another way of grounding and rooting feels good, please do that. And just taking a moment to feel held and to feel rooted and feel strong in your body and your mind. And then looking up from inside yourself, up into the vast expanse of the sky. And inviting the vast expanse of the sky and the spaces, energies of the stars to travel down through your being and to infuse all of your cells with light. If the sun is nearby to you, depending on where you are in your day and in your space, inviting the warmth and the light of the sun to fill your being, fill your face. Fill all the cells of your body down into your toes so they're tingling. Just breathe a little into this rooted, expanded, enlivened experience of yourself. And taking another moment to greet all of the tender places that you hold inside with love and with care. And giving yourself permission to enter into this space and this time with your sisters from all over the world. Those who are here now, those who will join us on the replay. And giving yourself permission to be in this space in whatever way feels authentic to you in this moment. To bring your full self, to bring all of your brokenness, all of your wholeness, all of your longings and your sorrows and your love and your joy and your pain and your confusion and your wisdom. All is welcome here in this time together. And as you feel ready, just breathing into that space. And as you're ready, opening your eyes in whatever way feels good, whether that's vibrant or gentle or slow, and opening and expanding into the circle, allowing your eyes to greet the space around you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're really, really glad that you're here. And we've really been enjoying preparing for this time with all of you. Ellie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Thank you, Moon, so much for that beautiful practice. So I am Ellie Pascal, one of the coaches for the Women's Wellness Circle. And I'm a somatic soul coach, which means I support people to nourish their health and whatever area of their life they want to by tuning into the guidance in their body. Yeah, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you today to swim into this precious topic of boundaries and relationships.
Yeah, so my name is Moon Title, and I am also one of the coaches with the Women's Wellness Circle. And I also have a private healing practice where I work one-to-one and in small groups with people really on all phases of the life and healing journey, doing whatever work is called for in the moment. Whether that is nourishing and settling or deep dives or really all phases of the healing path. And I'm just really delighted to be here today to have this experience and conversation together with all of you on boundaries, which is just a topic that is really just been part of my life, my entire life. I've been someone who has been described and experienced myself as really porous with the world around me. And so I have, it's been a lifelong and will continue to be a lifelong exploration of feeling what the boundaries are that feel alive and nourishing and good to me as I move through my life. And as I shared in the video yesterday, recently in the Women's Wellness Circle, we started some conversations around boundaries and their role on the healing path and the role with relationships with people. And I just really want to continue that conversation, and I'm excited for Ellie and I to offer you some experiences today and for some deep journaling and conversation around all of this. I think for me, it's been really important, to notice when my state shifts and change and where that shift is coming from, and to feel and experience that, without being swamped. As I said, I'm someone who's always been really porous, and it's like if someone thinks of me, even if they're across the country or across the world. It's like, for example, I'm on this family plan with a bunch of friends for my cell phone. And the other day, all of a sudden, I'm like, wait, did I pay my cell phone bill for September? 30 seconds later, I get an email from my friend Fuzzy, who manages our family plan. And he's like, Moon, you forgot to pay me for the phone bill. And that's kind of always how my experience is, which could be a beautiful thing and a blessing, but it also, the ways that we're interconnected, like if you're suddenly swamped with an emotional state or feelings about yourself or about something else, and something changes suddenly, it's helpful to be able to distinguish. We're all interconnected. We also all walk through this lifetime with a vessel and a body that's unique to this lifetime. And so it's being able to flow and distinguish between outer and inner in ways that feel really helpful and supportive. So that's some of what we'll move through today.
Mm. Yeah, Moon, I love that you spoke to that part of that word porous and the interconnected piece. As I was tuning in today to what to share in this space, I kept being shown how for myself around 10 years ago, I started to get all these difficult sensations in my body: fatigue, heaviness, shutdown, despair, and really not knowing why or what on earth was going on. And I made an internal pact with myself that I would go in and watch my body and my energy body, and find out what was going on, and when the fatigue came, when the block was there, and when I was flowing, and in what circumstance. And I was shown, and continue to be shown every day so clearly, that the energetic experience of a human being, I hate to use this word, but I just can't find another one in this moment, ideally, in a kind of perfect world, is a being who is like an incredible energy channel from the earth, through the feet, up through the body, up through the head, into the sky. And impulses as part of this channel will move organically through the body, from the heart, down the arms, through the heart, from the throat, to express needs, reach for what's wanted. And when this doesn't happen in a way that is truly in integrity for the person, truly what the person wants and needs. So if a person is giving something of themselves that actually most of them doesn't want to give, or allowing somebody into their space in a way that actually doesn't feel okay for them, the energy body is affected and it goes out of kilter. And this, after a certain amount of time, will create blocks and challenge and illness in the physical body. And the wonderful news about this is that putting a boundary up and speaking your truth and stating your needs and saying no and going for your yeses and being grounded and in your and honoring yourself affects your health immediately, like on a moment to moment basis. The energy body is shifting and changing with every thought, every word that you make. And over time, this truly comes into the physical body. And so yeah, I hope that gives you a sense of the power of what it is that we're going to be talking about today, and your power to support your healing journey.
Thanks, Ellie. Do you want to just talk about the flow for today and then move through into the exercise?
Yeah, thank
Awesome.
you. So today, just checking out that I cover what needs to be said. Yeah, so we're going to have a lovely guided practice for you to tune into your sense of self, your sense of beingness, physically, emotionally, energetically, and your inner knowings about what you need in order to take care of your precious energetic boundary and your body. There'll also be a bit of space for you to journal with your responses on that if you want to, and also for you to share what's coming up for you in the space, perhaps any questions that you might have. And then finally, an opportunity to hear beautiful ways that if you want more support going forward with this or other parts of your healing journey, you can get it from the Women's Wellness Circle or from Moon or I on a one-to-one basis. So it's just a really beautiful 50 minutes or however long we have left. Yeah, a bit less. Yeah, is there anything more, Moon, that I haven't said before I glide into the practice?
I was just responding to some people in the chat, so I missed the end of it. But did you mention then at the end we're going to talk about opportunities if people want to deepen into support with the Women's Wellness Circle? I didn't hear that part, but you might have said it. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks,
Okay.
Ellie. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to take about 15 minutes now. So I invite you again to take a breath into your precious body. In fact, take 5. And as you notice your breathing, you might want to allow your eyes to close or let them rest with a soft gaze. So just check in with your posture. Are you as comfortable as you could be? Do you need a blanket? And then just tuning in again to those places in your body where you might see your roots going into the earth or feel yourself supported by the furniture, the bed, the mat. Let your awareness fall to those places like wet sand. Opening to the tug of gravity. And as you do so, opening to a sense of your kind self. This is the part of you who's known you ever since conception and sees you only with love. They might appear for you as an image in your mind or more of a felt sense that they're there. And as you breathe with them in your presence, let a sense of safety appear with you, sense of you only need to open in this exercise to what feels right for you. You can always allow your awareness simply to come back to your breathing. And you can let it be easy. You'll get what you need. And let it be easy. And now opening up to your felt sense, sweet one. Opening up to what you feel in your physical body. Maybe you have a sense of emotion. And maybe you have a sense of your energy. Maybe it extends outside of your physical body. And really, everything is energy. So whatever you feel in this moment has an energetic component. So simply swim with a gentle investigation. What is alive in my felt sense experience right now? Is it smooth, spiky? Does it have a sense of temperature or color, or movement, stillness? And noticing what's alive for you at the level of your feet and your ankles, and the whole of your leg. Knowing that if at any point any sensation is too much, you can return to the breath or even the sounds around you. And being now with your precious womb space. And now the whole of your torso, chest, belly, back. And your neck and your throat. Arms and hands. And if any movement comes at any point or desire to make sounds, I really invite that. And the head and face. And with your next breath now, welcoming yourself exactly as you are, just noticing what's here. So much kindness. And now allowing again your awareness to come to the places in your body where you're supported and held. And as you do that, to allow your awareness to come to a place that feels for you like your center of gravity. Imagining if it feels supportive for you, a really beautiful tree growing up from the center of gravity, right through the center of the whole of your body, so that it supports you to have a really loving, grounded, present sense of self. And if there's any part of you which is not feeling grounded, which is not feeling present, welcoming that too with the kind of warm welcoming that you would show to a friend. Whatever is alive for you gets to be here. This is your medicine. And as you breathe into what's alive for you right now, just allowing the word boundary to fall into your awareness.
Ellie, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, and I'm really sorry to everyone. I was deep in it with you, but people are not able to hear you. And so a lot of people have said they've had to leave because they can't hear, and then when they turn up the volume, there's a lot of rebound.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, I'm so sorry.
so
Let me just see what I can do. Just one moment.
Okay, thanks. So it seems like some people can hear, and for those of you that can hear, just staying in the deep place that you're in and so sorry for this interruption, and for all of you who are having trouble hearing. I'm really sorry. That's so frustrating, and I just want to apologize that I wasn't present with your comments, that I was in the process with you. Okay, so it seems like some people are able to hear. Thank you for chiming in. Um, okay. So Ellie, a number of people have been able to hear perfectly, just to tell
Yeah,
you, and
yeah,
they're chiming in now.
yeah. Okay, so
Okay.
hopefully this might help.
Yeah, thank
Thank you
you.
everyone so much for letting us know, and thank you, Moon, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so taking a breath back into your body now and allowing whatever has arisen in you in this blip to be here. All of this gets to be here, you know. And allowing again your awareness just to drop down to the places where you're supported in any sense of center that you have right now. And again, this concept of boundaries. And with your next breath, allowing your awareness to gently expand outwards, just to feel into how your energy extends outside of your physical body and creates, it might be kind of a bubble around you, this sacred bubble of how you extend. Or it might have a different shape for you, it might not be spherical. And you might want to actually take your hands and feel for yourself into this sense of extended self, knowing that you can always bring your awareness back to those places where you're held and supported. And just feeling with your hands or just with your intuition, how far out do I go? And what is your boundary like, sweet one? What is it made of? What is its texture or temperature? And as you allow yourself to feel into this sacred element of you, what does it need to be maintained? What does it need? And noticing what is there a sense of any gaps? And this is all okay. This is very normal and human if there is any gaps or spaces. And if you notice that or anything else about how your boundary feels, just allowing yourself to tune into this question. What does this teach me about myself? What does this tell me about myself? Yeah, so just being with this sacred felt sense experience of you and your boundary. And I feel, Moon, now that we're kind of organically moving into the inquiry. So if you want to take over this part.
Thanks, Ellie. It's really beautiful. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, so if you're still really deep in your meditation and the experience of your boundary and you want to stay there, I really want to support and encourage that to happen. And if you've come out of it a little bit, or if you're wanting to move into some journaling, um, write some reflections and explore for yourself. So there's kind of three options here. Just staying in your exploration of your boundary, um, taking in the questions and listening deeply within yourself, or opening your eyes and exploring with pencil and pen in your journal. And then when we're finished here, we're going to do a lot of sharing and discussion. So one question just to consider in this moment is, how did your boundary look and how did your boundary feel to you? Just taking some time to write that down if that feels good. How did your boundary look and how did your boundary feel to you? And what did it feel like to be in relationship with your boundary? What did you experience? What did you notice? Did it all feel the same? Did it feel uniform? Or were there some places that were different? And what did it feel like to have places that might have been different? And so, with any of the prompts, if they are feeling really rich and deep for you and you want to just stay with them, please stay with them. And and also, you always have the recording to come back to if you want to deepen into any of the questions. And so, next, what did your center look like and feel like for you? What did you experience when you were in your center? And the last question, is there anything that your boundaries or center would like for you to know? And just asking that question, perhaps you received something during the meditation, perhaps now in this experience of heightened connection with your boundaries and center, you're experiencing something. And just say, is there anything you would like for me to know? Insights or practical advice or anything at all. And so continuing with this prompt, and as you feel ready, we'd love to know where you're joining us from and anything at all that you want to share from the exercise or any questions that you have about boundaries. And yeah, please take the time to share with us. And if you're still in a deep space with yourself and your practice and your process, continuing there and joining in with the conversation as that surfaces. Okay. So Catherine said, I'm struggling to answer the questions as I didn't really get much information in the visualization. I'm super sensitive to interruption, unfortunately. Yeah. Ellie, do you want to say anything to Catherine?
I would just invite you, Catherine, to open to what's alive in your body right now. And maybe it's completely okay for you that not so much information came through. And maybe if you're still wanting to inquire, you could spend a little bit of time now, or even after the practice or at another time, just with your body around the question of boundaries. And it might be that you want to just drop in the question, is there any part of your body that has anything to say about your boundaries right now, about what you need, around what your body needs in order to feel more grounded in you and your truth? Or it might be that you want to open to something a little bit more practical, like, after just being in this space of this webinar, is there anything that's coming to me around interactions I've been having with people, or the way I've been moving in the world with this word boundaries and what that means for you? Yeah.
Thanks, Ellie. And Catherine, I'm feeling like I'm feeling called to speak to that experience of super sensitive to interruption, because I can so deeply relate to that. And one, and I think, of course, we wish it hadn't happened that way. And one really powerful, profound thing. There's this exercise I do that that was brought to me through the pre and perinatal work that I do, which is returning to the moment before something happens. So, for example, I'm curious what your experience was in the meditation prior to the interruption and what you were experiencing, because you had a really sudden experience, we could call it, of like a boundary invasion. Like, I'm guessing, and I could be wrong, so please let me know if I am, you were in this expanded state and tuning in and touching in with these more subtle energies and dimensions of your body mind continuum. And then there was the interruption that was me coming in and speaking to something that was very different from the space that we were in. And so one exercise and practice I do very regularly is like returning to the moment before something changes and checking in with what was I feeling before something changed, before someone walked in the room, before someone said something to me that set off a cascade of my emotional experience, before something happened, and returning to that moment before and grounding in and connecting with like, oh, what was I experiencing? And so that's a felt sense practice I do really regularly and support my clients to do in our work together. And so I wanted to offer that as a possibility for exploration. Okay, I'm just trying to find where we are. So I'm not seeing all the names, but it looks like, is that Teresa from Colorado is here, and Mary from UK, and Dr. Sneharu, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, and hello Josephine, and Claire from White UK. And yeah, for some reason the names are getting smushed. My apologies. So it looks like Mary is saying, my boundary was like Hessian but harder, but had holes from past sexual abuse in one area, and my solid self was in a cocoon, but I felt like it needed to be held. So I'm not familiar with Hessian. I'm guessing it's a kind of stone, perhaps. Um, and Mary, I just want to say thank you for sharing that. And I'm wondering, like, how it was, like if it felt good to feel held, if how it felt to experience that part that had holes, and what that was like for you. Ellie, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I would pretty much echo that, and also invite you to ask the part where there was holes if there's something that it needs in order to have maybe a kind of a temporary boundary put there, or even to nourish that area to grow a new one. What kind of boundaries do you need? Is this relating to any particular area of your life? Yeah, and I love these words here. My solid self was in a cocoon. I felt like it needed to be held, and I just get such a beautiful sense of kind of self-nurturing here, and would really invite you to give yourself some of that in whatever way feels most loving for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Judy from Heptonstall, I hope I'm saying that right. I seem to have so much not knowing. And Judy, I just say yes to that. Like, yes to the not knowing, and yes to the embracing the experience of not knowing. Yeah, I think that's wonderful. And there's so much richness for us when we can drop into the space of not knowing and let that be what it is, for as long or as short as the not knowing is there. Mary says, my upper body felt like it had too much to hold up. Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah. I just want you to be really instinctive with this, and swim into the exploration. Maybe this week, just walk it with the question, just what is it that I might want to let go of, that might support me to be even more true to myself, or even more loving to yourself, or is there anything that you want to let go of? Yeah.
Thanks, Ellie. So I can't see your full name, but let's see, in Santa Cruz. Hi, I'm in LA, just a little bit south of you. Still in a deep state, feeling how good that is to be in touch with, in communication with my boundaries. Seeing that we can work together more as a team to be aware of what's happening and what we need to do to restore balance or take steps forward in ways that feel safe. Thank you so much. I'm really glad thank you for sharing your experience. Dr. Sneha, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, from India. I saw that my boundary was a crystalline violet tetrahedron, something that I hadn't practiced consciously for a while. It made me realize that all the spiritual and clearing work I've been doing isn't wasted. Some kind of validation that I haven't lost it yet. Yes. It made me feel protected, and I felt absolutely strong and solid, just like the crystalline boundary. Thank you for the experience. The exercise helped me feel strong, protected in my softness. Yeah, I just want to say yes to that. Like, yes to having that experience of like, wow, all this deep work I've been doing hasn't been lost. I just want to tell you I can relate to that on such a deep level and would love to say more. And I'm also seeing we have 17 messages, and we want to try to get to a few more before we have to transition. Julia from Germany. I have a feeling like there's a hole on the left side of my boundary, but I don't know what that means. Ellie, do you want to?
Yeah, I would invite you to sit with the not knowing, Julia, and honor that it's so powerful, in my opinion, that you've seen that. And when an intention and an exploratory intention is set by a person, the information is going to come in. So I just salute that in you, and I'm excited for you because more will be coming. Yeah.
So I'm just taking a moment because I'm feeling my deep longing to read what everyone has to share and to have space and time for holding that and responding to that. And I'm seeing like 27 messages that, and knowing that we're not going to have time for them all. And I'm just taking a moment because I just really want to say I love being in circle with all of you, and this is an area of life that is really near and dear to my heart, and it matters deeply to me what all of you are experiencing. And I want to celebrate with you all of the joys and beautiful experiences that you had, and I want to speak to all of the challenging experiences and all of the questions. And we only have time for one more. And so what I am going to do is I am going to um, before we get off the webinar, I'm going to save the chat. And I can't promise to get to everything, but I do want to find a way in the couple weeks to come to try to speak to some different aspects of this. And so, yeah, I just really want to say everything you're sharing matters deeply to both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I echo that. Thanks, Moon.
And Ellie, do you want to find one last one to read out?
Okay. Okay, so I see Claire Earl. Claire says, during the visualization, I felt very grounded and calm, which is rare for me. But outside of my boundary was elastic and soft. But there was a tightness in the middle, which I think is the fear I have about setting boundaries. I often go into a stressed state when making boundaries, as it is hard to put myself first. Yeah, I really, really hear that, Claire. And thank you so much for bringing that into the space, this part of the challenge around actually setting the new boundaries, and how easy, or not easy, but habitual, very understandably, it can be, therefore, to stay letting our boundaries go and letting them go and people pleasing, because those are mechanisms that for so many of us came in at a very young age in order to placate people around us or get what we needed in other ways that felt at that time vital for our survival. And now, as we are women, as we are grown, we have the opportunity to do it differently. And it's important that we do when we're ready to. And at the same time, it's very likely that it's going to bring up visceral stress responses in the body. So to that, I say, I hear you, and please go gently and listen to your body in the process. And it's okay if this takes time. This will take as long as it takes. And I'm really honoring your awareness. So yeah, thank you, Claire, for that piece. Anything you have to say, Moon?
That was beautiful. Thank you, Ellie. Yeah, and thanks, Claire, for sharing. So we're going to transition out of this part of the sharing circle, and I just want to say a few things that we don't quite have enough time for. So I will, expand on more of it later somewhere else. But I just wanted to briefly mention just that sorry, I'm just taking a moment again to just slow down and feel. It's hard when we're in this container of time, and there's a lot here. And I just really want to honor everything that came forward for everyone and everything that we've all been experiencing together. And also just to acknowledge the experience of what it is when there's not enough space and time to be seen and heard in the way we might like, and to respond to each other in the way we might like. Thanks. So I just wanted to take a minute or two to talk about the array of practices that are out there that support healthy boundaries. There are so many of them, and I just really want to encourage. What's been great for me is a sense of playfulness and exploration. And we all process the world and energies really differently. And it's like finding what is our medicine and what works for us in supporting healthy boundaries. You know, there's the outer tools of learning strong, clear communication skills, you know, that support us in the pathways of right relationship with others. There's practices for um, you know, cleansing ourselves. And I'm just going to list off some of the ones I do, and I hope to do some more videos in the near future on them. So for me, water is an essential part of my cleansing, swimming in the ocean and lakes and rivers and showering. There's that exercise that I mentioned of like returning to the moment before an experience happened. Um, and there are lots and lots of practices to build up your aura. You can Google some Donna Eden practices that build up your aura, and you can do more meditations like the beautiful one Ellie led us in today of feeling your edge and feeling your center. And there are a lot of Kundalini yoga practices that work on building the subtle body and the subtle energies. And then there's, you know, the standard practices of using high vibration oils, you know, like frankincense and Ravensara for helping one's aura to be strong and clear, and using sage and cedar and sweetgrass if you're not sensitive to those things, to just kind of clean yourself off. And like we've been discussing a little this week in the membership community, selenite can be really wonderful for cleaning the aura. So there's so much here, and I went a little bit fast through it. We'd planned to have more time for this segment, and I wanted you to have just some little juicy pieces from that, and we'll do more in the time to come. And really, if you're feeling inspired and connected with some of what we've been sharing and exploring and experiencing together here, one way to really deepen into that is to join the Women's Wellness Circle for the membership year. And we are just about to start our new annual year in November. And we really want to support you on your healing. And if this feels resonant and powerful for you, we invite you to join us. We share in really deep sisterhood and support, which for me has been such an incredible and very necessary part of my healing path. And there are options for how to work with us. You can join on a monthly basis, you know, just to try it out, or you can join and be with us for a year. And I think Ellie's going to put into the chat the link for that, and I'll just talk about a little bit of what you can experience if you join us for the year. So if you join within the next 2 weeks by the end of the month, you will receive a free one-to-one recovery session with one of us. This is available for new members joining in. Will run out on the 31st, and this is a really I think important and powerful part, is to just have some time to sit one-to-one and to do some really deep work, or to ask whatever questions and ways that you might be stuck and wanting to deepen your practice and deepen your healing. Um, in the membership circle, we do 12 monthly group coaching sessions, which follow through themes as laid out by Frances's beautiful 8-step Lotus process, which we've expanded and adapted into a 12-month format. And those coaching calls are done on Zoom. And unlike today, which is a webinar, the monthly coaching calls are done where we're all on there together. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. You can call in on phone, but we can see each other's faces if we want to. And there's time for more deeper discussions and sharing and guided exercises and journaling and so on, like today. We also have a workbook on the foundational healing topics and transformational practices. And if you join for the year, this comes to you in a printed book that we mail to you. And if you join for a shorter time, then you get some electronic aspects of the workbook. And we have a really rich and beautiful private Facebook group where we gather together and are regularly supporting each other. And part of that is we have a weekly live intention setting ceremony on Mondays, along with office hours with us coaches. We rotate on that, and you get to bring whatever questions you have on your path and that you're working with in your life to the live office hours. We also are inviting you to be part of shaping the Women's Wellness Council 2020 interview series, and to submit your questions in advance and your ideas and inspirations for who you would like for us to invite. And your advanced questions will help us shape the interview. So that's really exciting. You also have access to the Women's Wellness Council interviews and practices from 2019. And you have free access to the online courses. We offer 2 of them a year, which is really exciting. I'm looking forward to those a lot. And we also offer support with a sister partner practice so that you can connect with another like-minded woman on your recovery journey and really deeply support each other. And lastly, there's a discount on the annual retreat that's held in person in the UK for those of you who are well enough to travel for that or to go to that if you're close by. So yeah, we just want to invite you to join us if our support feels resonant and feels good and feels alive for you. And over the next few weeks, we're going to share some videos and also written testimonials from our members who are sharing how the circle is impacting their lives.
Yeah, Moon, thank you. I feel like you did such an amazing job on covering all the bases of the information there. And I was partly present and partly putting stuff in the chat box. I don't know that there's much more for me to say. Did you cover the details on the pricing?
No, I did not.
Okay, fab. Yeah, so I'll just say that, yeah, I mean, observing what happens in the Facebook group and how the women, the ahas and the support and the wealth of beautiful nourishment in this container that is available for you. If you're drawn to join up, I would encourage you and to check it out at least. So yes, for the month, if you join before, for the year, sorry, if you join before the 31st of October, it's £365. So it's just £1 a day. And if you sign up for the yearly membership, and I think you touched on this, Moon, about the one-to-one that you will get. Yeah, if you sign up for the yearly membership, you'll get a one-to-one with either Moon or I, or one of, or Fran or Jen, also Jen, yeah, which is awesome. This is adding massive amount of value to the package. So I would really invite you to think about that. You can also, if you join just for 1 month at a time, it's £35 a month. I think that's the logistics with regard to the Women's Wellness Circle. And then with regard to the opportunity, if you're interested to work with Moon or I, Moon, do you want to say a little bit about that in terms of one-to-one sessions with you?
Yeah, so I'm just noticing we're almost out of time and I want to do a short closing. So both Ellie and I work with people one-to-one, and we have our websites and emails posted in the chat if you want to deepen into working with either of us. And we have all of the information posted in the chat. The links, Ellie put that in there for more information on joining us in the Women's Wellness Circle. And I know we're supposed to end right at the top of the hour, and I'd just like to take the final moments to do 1 minute or 2 minute closing exercise. And if you need to go, that's totally fine. And I'm sorry that we didn't land quite on time. So let's just close our eyes and invite a gentle smile to our lips to bathe all of our cells. Bathe all of our cells into the goodness that we have experienced here together. And just take a moment to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, checking in with whatever it is you've experienced. Blessing any pain or challenges or difficulties or not knowings or woundings that came up. Releasing anything that you don't want to carry with you when you open your eyes and you leave this time together, down through the powerful roots that you set at the beginning of our class. Opening up again to the vastness of the sky and inviting the starlight energy to bathe your cells. Blessing yourself and offering gratitude for whatever you've experienced today. Blessing your aura and your energy field, your boundaries and your center. Thank you for whatever you have shown to me today. And offering deep gratitude and appreciation for yourself for anything you haven't experienced that you wanted to, and acknowledging that sorrow or that grief if it's there. And if it should feel good to you, taking your hand from your heart into your belly and bringing your hands to your sides, and seeing the circle of us around the world. All of our countries haven't been named, but we know that we're at least USA, India, UK, and Ireland, and I think many more. And seeing and feeling your sisters circled around you, each one of us on a powerful healing journey through this momentous time in human history, and joining hands and feeling the love that is circulating through here, honoring all of the awareness and the healings and the woundings and the challenges and the struggles and the joys and the beauty that has come in this circle today. And looking out with your eyes if you feel good and smiling at your sisters. I honor your path. Thank you for walking in circle with me today, for standing, for laying down in circle with me today. And squeezing the hands of the sisters beside you. And if it should feel good, I want to invite you into a practice that one of my teachers, Nana Wilma, Mayan grandmother from Guatemala, has us do at the end of all of our ceremonies when we're in a circle, is gathering up the goodness of the energies from the circle into your hands and bringing your hands and fists to your heart and to your belly and filling that energy into you with gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, sisters. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Fran, and the 6-year-olds. So honored to be here with all of you today. We're going to complete, but I'll still be here for a moment so I can save the chat. And blessings, and I really look forward to the next time we're all connecting.
Go gently, everyone. Bye.